Final match here for the men. Waiting centered on the table, just missing his ball, the third ball attack. A bit behind the table, LIN Gaoyuan tends to play a little bit closer. Fang doing a good job of keeping him back.
Split. 2 left. Split. 2 left.
Good setup for Fang, fast and long into the body. Right-handed, left-handed player matchups. This fast, long serve into the backhand side can be effective, especially with so many modern receives coming in over the forehand side of the table with the backhand. It's one way to make sure you anchor somebody down, keep them in check about moving in early. Solid forehand flip. LIN Gaoyuan ties it up. Now, while some people will see this as a China-China match, I'd like to point out that these are two different players coming in very different points in their career. Well placed, backhand down the middle into the body. I was gonna say Fang is still not as old as the top 3 players, not including Fan Zhendong on the Chinese national team. A lot of pace on that ball. Fang 25 years old.
4-2.
And only this year have we seen LIN Gaoyuan really start to make a case for becoming part of the Big Four. It's an ongoing audition always. If you're outside the top 10 on the men's national team in China, international fame and celebrity is a stranger to you, but Fang since 2015 has really become quite internationally recognized after beating Zhang Jike and Xu Xin at the World Championships, giving Ma Long quite a run for his money in the final. 2-4 loss. Really impressed with Fang backhand so far in this game. I think of him as a forehand dominant player, but he's been waiting patiently, not turning the corner too early, and using his backhand effectively to win some points. Back edge of the table for Fang
2-6. Three, 6.
The big stroke from the middle of the table. A little bit of a step around here. Just a little bit late to keep the pressure on. Watch LIN Gaoyuan's positioning here. Fang knows that when he makes a shot there, if he makes the shot, he's going to have to cover the ball coming back to the wide forehand. I think LIN Gaoyuan is going to start to zero in on these. Counter back to the wide forehand. Again, his speed normally just, say, better than the rest on the team. He's just so quick off the bounce. But here he's taking the ball a little bit later in the rally, almost every time. It's not quite typical of LIN Gaoyuan's game.
4-8.
Could be because Fang is keeping the pressure on, keeping it deep on the table with these quality shots. Makes it very difficult for LIN Gaoyuan to take the ball on the uprise off the bounce. Again, patient receive, Fang waiting, taking that backhand. His backhand has been quite crucial so far in this match. Nice placement here.
9-5.
Lin Gaoyuan finds the deep corner. Brings himself back within 4.
Nine, 6.
Okay now, from the middle of the table, getting in. That backhand top spin over the table. And this is
6,
tough.
10.
Think about where Ma Long was in 2015 and the match that Fang brought out. Fang, the younger of the two, 3.5 years younger than Ma Long. 4 game points for Fang. Here we go,
7,
nice
10.
change of placement. Lin Gaoyuan showing that he's versatile with that backhand. He's played a few wide out to the other side of the table. Attempted chop block from Fang. Sort of a last resort there. 2 game points saved.
10, 8.
Third towel break of the game, and Lin Gaoyuan looking to get back what has been taken from him by so many players. Xu Xin and Timo Boll. Game points, match points. But here it's just game points that he's saving. And it goes just off the table. Fang takes it 11 points to 8 to start off the match. No coaches in the corner. We'll be back for game 2 shortly. Stay right here.
Когда сопля или еще что-то, руку не поднимай, никаких действий не надо, если я тебя не прошу. Так ничего не надо.
Second game, Fang to serve, level.
Back for game number 2. Fang just drawing his hand near the net. Looked like he was going to be winning by more than he did. Turning on the afterburners a little bit after the fact, Lin Gaoyuan.
Block 1.
Break to start off the top of the net. Nice placement here. Fang playing it into the middle, and Lin Gaoyuan bringing it out wide to the forehand.
Two, 1.
Now Fang again still dangerous on the forehand side. In game 1 we saw his backhand sort of setting him up. Many players with big forehands, Matthias Carlsen, rely on that backhand to keep, basically to keep them in the point. They know people are going to play to their backhand.
2, 3.
Marcos Freitas had this a lot earlier on in his career. Spent a lot of time developing his backhand. A lot of left-handed players tend to be forehand dominant. So having that backhand, I feel like, is more and more important in the modern game than it has been.
4, 2.
First towel break, Lin Gaoyuan off to a good start, leading by 2. I've seen many fans here in Kazakhstan following these players around. Some of Fang Bo's favorites, or maybe the other way around. Some who favor Fang Bo quite a bit.
Five, two.
Attempt for the Chiquita there, a bit of side and top, but it doesn't come over the net. Now this one's just too clean of a third ball. Fang Bo is going to have a better answer in the receive game. LIN Gaoyuan, when he's set up like that, just has a perfect opening third ball. Too much pressure, even if Fang Bo is in position to counter. Deep on the table as they come right to the baseline. Tough serve. Fang Bo making his way back, playing bold here. LIN Gaoyuan started to turn right near the middle of the table. By the time he got around that ball, placement had beaten him.
Six, four.
Fang Bo once again finding the middle here, mid-rally. Not easy to do. LIN Gaoyuan playing a soft shot, leaving it near the back of the table. When he gets that lunging forehand in. Now this is similar to Ma Long, the way he gets, watch him step in once. Now the left foot here, way out in front as he lunges forward, extends fully, full forearm and forehand stroke there to win the point. LIN Gaoyuan saves the lead, hangs on to it, and extends it back to 2. Second towel break of the game, and the long serve pays off. Between the two of them, Fang Bo has played the more bold game, although it's easy to say simply because, well, his percentages have been better. He's been rewarded for taking these chances. Playing surprisingly deep on the table early in the rally. Service and whatnot. Let's see what he brings out here. Sizing up the opponent. Trying to anticipate what LIN Gaoyuan might move and expect. Once again, it's that fast long serve into the backhand. Fang Bo can't do this every serve. Eventually, LIN Gaoyuan will pick up on the pattern.
Please stop. No flash, please.
There's a giant flash still shining down at the court right now, and it has been adjusted. Someone checking his camera. Good call by the umpire. A lot of the times people forget, but the umpires are here to help the players. Fang Bo very flexible, very agile. Bends that upper body out of the way on the backhand side to play an inside-out forehand. Not an easy ball, and he gets the same situation out of LIN Gaoyuan, bending at the waist. Trying to make up for where the feet were. Beautiful counter for Fang Bo, but LIN Gaoyuan plays it back down the line. Tight game 2 here. Quite similar score-wise to game 1 at this point. World Tour logo there. Some say inspired by Ma Long.
7-9.
Interesting. Now these two are good friends, but on the table right now, that Chole Chu had a bit of sting to it. Unlike Timo Boll's Cho's, where he sort of brings it into himself, LIN Gaoyuan made sure he looked at Fang Bo as he went back. Spinny opening backhand, and there it was. More earnest internal Yole. 3 game points for LIN Gaoyuan. Looking to tie up the score here.
Let. 7-10.
The angle right off the bounce there. LIN Gaoyuan gets on top of the ball from corner to corner. Fast footwork flying through the court, and he takes the game 11-7. Scored one more point so far than Fang in this match, and we'll see who takes the lead in game number 3 coming up right after this.
Third game. LIN to serve, level.
Back for game number 3, LIN Gaoyuan making his comeback early on in the match. Again, 2 players from the most dominant nation in the world, the same Chinese national team here. Know each other's games quite well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go the distance. The last 2 times Xu and Fan played, the match ended in 5 games. For that to be true here, the next 3 would have to be won by the same player.
Love 2.
Fang seemed more comfortable in the rallies, opening with his backhand. In game 1, we saw that a lot. So far, he's been held off. LIN Gaoyuan used his serves wisely, bringing Fang out to the forehand side.
Let.
But not too long, not allowing the
Left
first attack that is, from Fang. Just missing the back edge. First point for Fang.
2-0.
Now the flip was lukewarm, solid for most people's standards, but Fang fires back with his backhand. How quick he is, that short stroke. He was well centered, in ready position between forehand and backhand, and generated a lot of power with a short backswing. Caught in between decisions, Fang can't keep the ball short in the push game, and LIN Gaoyuan steals the point. Nice touch there, better answer to that serve to the forehand side. Fang playing the touch ball with his backhand. Interesting look here to see what it looks like from this angle. Different sense of the space. And sometimes we forget a 5-foot by 9-foot table looks quite small the way these players move around from this camera angle, but before, really could sense how much space they're covering.
Let. 3-4.
In between, tough ball to play, perfect placement on the serve. That's what half long is all about. Catch the opponent, the receiver, in indecision. Even if that ball comes down, LIN Gaoyuan's going to be in trouble unless he catches the back edge of the table. Quality loops from behind. Fang in a comfortable place with that forehand. Still that second forehand attack, shorter stroke. Fast pace of the rallies. It's funny, we talk about the women's game becoming more like the men's game, but in certain ways, men's game's also becoming more like the women's game.
5-0.
One of those ways is the shorter strokes becoming much bigger of a factor here as players are playing for speed, less for spin. Given the opportunity, of course, to use all the muscle they can to get that full stroke in. But in the meantime, the counter game, there's just not time for such a long stroke.
Let. 5-0. Five, 6.
Solid placement over the table. LIN Gaoyuan right into the middle.
Seven, 5.
Second towel break of the game. LIN Gaoyuan leading by 2 once again. Really curious to see how this one will play out. Again, Fang had his big breakout performance in 2015. LIN Gaoyuan is the Fang of 2017. Given the opportunity to play the World Championships, although Fang did much better at the World Championships in 2015 than LIN Gaoyuan did. LIN Gaoyuan comes back to take the Austrian Open this year over Yenan. Had Yenan won that match, it would have been 2
8-5.
titles this year, which would have put him on par with Ma Long. Oh, the placement right down the line. LIN Gaoyuan, a crisp, risky shot. He's going to be taking bold balls like this. The percentages for LIN Gaoyuan have really gone up since game one. Game one, it didn't feel like we were watching LIN Gaoyuan play. Looked like we were watching a nervous LIN Gaoyuan who wasn't quite sure where his game was.
Let. 5-9.
Oh, second bounce on the
5-10.
table. Soft hands for a late decision to keep that ball short. Not to mention it was the short side of the table, so we had even less room to play it short. 1 game
10-6.
point saved by Fang. 4 left for LIN Gaoyuan. And there it is, the crisp off the bounce backhands. LIN Gaoyuan takes game number 3 for a 2-1 lead. 11 points to 6 over Fang, and we'll be back for game number 4 coming up right after this.
Дорогие дамы и господа, чисто китайское подтверждение. Счет по планете 2-1 в пользу LIN Gaoyuan. Ваши аплодисменты.
Time. Pause game.
Back for game number 4.
Fang
Fang on the
Bravo.
chase. He's going to start off with the serve. LIN Gaoyuan making a lot better shots here, turning and getting his forehand into play, changing up the positioning. His touch game has improved as well, and Fang's backhand has been put to rest quite a bit. Lin Gaoyuan exploiting the short forehand side of the table.
Let.
I think
Level.
that's been a big part of it as well. He's brought Fang Bo in over the forehand side, kept it low enough that Fang Bo has to play touch shots.
Let. Level.
Ooh,
Left
Fang
one.
Bo using those calves and quads out there to chase down this ball after stepping around. Watch one more time. Backhand. There's the chase, plays it on the run. But it takes Lin Gaoyuan a lot of confidence and timing to play that off the bounce and create such a wide angle.
One
Good
all.
backhand here. Fang Bo very wristy at the back of the table.
Two one.
Just thinking right now about the amount of work these players put in, these two specifically. Within the Chinese national team, there's so much competition, so much pressure, and the physical fitness that goes into being as fast as they are. It's unrivaled.
1-3.
Again, no coaches in the corner for either player here, as they're both from the same national association. It's been a little while since we've seen that serve fast and long into the backhand. Now that it comes out, it doesn't seem to get Fang Bo much advantage. This is nice touch here. Lin Gaoyuan looks like he's going to flip the ball, go for the topspin shot, and at the last moment he changes his wrist, plays the backspin, and quickly is right back in the backhand corner. That puts a lot of pressure on Fang Bo. If Fang Bo was able, and of course hindsight 2020, it's always easy to see after it happened. If Fang Bo was able to change his mind last moment, play a soft shot to the forehand, realizing Lin Gaoyuan is going fast the other way, it's going to be very tough for Lin Gaoyuan to stop in his tracks.
5-2.
Good touch game, soft hands for Fang Bo. Okay, ball sits up a bit and Lin Gaoyuan not able to finish there. Some of the biggest table tennis supporters. We've seen a few familiar faces over the last 3 days now. A lot of the locals want their tickets every single day because they know this doesn't come around so often. A World Tour Grand Finals right here in Astana. Opening backhand quality, just like game one. Flash backhand. You could call that a flashback backhand.
Let. 4-5. Let.
Now, from time to time, we see service warnings when the ball is that in near the body and the free arm is still out a bit. Apparently, it didn't raise any flags.
6-4.
Now, for most players at this level, that is the trend of the service. Right in near the body. From that camera angle, you could see the ball the whole time. The real test is from where Lin Gaoyuan's eyes are. Can you see the ball the entire time? From the time it's presented on the palm of the hand until the time it's contacted by the racket for the serve. Fang Bo does not want to get caught that far back behind the table. Lin Gaoyuan playing consistent, safe. A little bit of Fang Bo Jio there. You can see he was uncomfortably leaning forward. Not an easy ball to play. Well placed serve, half long. LIN Gaoyuan extending his lead to 4. Now, while table tennis has so many different characteristics and qualities that require different skill sets, I think one thing that Timo Boll, among other legends of the sport, have really shown, Ma Long included, is their ability to pinpoint tactics that will work. Remember, neither player has a coach in their corner right now. LIN Gaoyuan has really sharpened up his placement in the game, his short game, and managed to get Fang Bo behind the table for many points in this game. Look at that backhand, so clean. Even from behind the table, plays it like practically a flip. Very short stroke, watch the finishing backhand. Just a little bit of tuck, barely any follow through. This is where a lot of that muscle comes in. Being able to stop your stroke with all that momentum moving forward so that you can come back and do it again. I think that's one of the most underappreciated ways that muscle helps you in table tennis, assuming you're not too tight bodybuilder. Oh, best rally so far, and it's Fang Bo who takes it with a backhand punch shot, parallel to win it. About 3 shots in this rally look like the rally should have already been over. LIN Gaoyuan turning for the backhand there quickly. Leaping out to the backhand side, trying to jump over. Just some trouble with Fang Bo's surprise placement. Not quite sure what happened there. Huh. Peculiar.
Let 7-9.
Top of the net, but it stays on Fang Bo's side. 3 game points for LIN Gaoyuan to go up 3 games to 1 over Fang Bo. Well played there, the forehand flip right to the middle. Placement. Second serve here for Fang Bo against these 3 game points now. Forehand flip once again, smooth like butter. LIN Gaoyuan up 3-1, and we'll be back. Game number 5 could determine the winner of this match. Stay right here to watch. Game 5 coming right up.
Level.
And here we are, game number 5. LIN Gaoyuan 1 game away from moving on to the men's singles semifinals. Now, coming into this match, neither player had lost a game. Fang Bo beat Simon Gauzy 4-0. LIN Gaoyuan beat Masaki Yoshida 4-0. Out of all the names on the list, Masaki Yoshida was probably one that surprised a lot of players. An underappreciated player from the Japanese national team. Just don't see him as much on the world tour. But several times this year he ended up quite deep in the tournament, which is the reason he collected so many points. Now the winner of this match will be waiting for the winner of Dima versus Harimoto.
2-1.
Better serves here. Half long topspin to the forehand side, and LIN Gaoyuan not confident to take a solid flip. Much better answer. Plays it short behind the net and earns the fourth ball. Fang wasn't ready for such a short ball. It's funny having watched these guys for a long time now in this uniform, but the collar of their shirts look a lot like a light bulb.
3-2.
Just the shape anyway. Causing fans excited again. World-class players right here in the hometown. Nice spin on the backhand, a bit of side and top from LIN Gaoyuan. Moving Fang around. Fang will be tested. Footwork is a strength of his, but with LIN Gaoyuan playing the short game so well, he's going to get the first attack quite often. Surprise serve, fast and long. Now this wasn't straight into the backhand. This is a little bit out more to the elbow, giving a little bit more indecision to LIN Gaoyuan as he turns to try and play the forehand. Soft hands, keeps it up near the net. Fang just not getting in time. It's also difficult to lift something that's way out in front of you.
Six, 3.
No timeout yet, a little bit surprised. Again, with two players from the same national association with no coaches involved, timeouts tend to come later as the players are focused on the game itself, less about how they can help themselves.
3-7.
Quality forehand, it comes wide out. Fang gets that full stroke in. It's a lot of conversation, Asia versus Europe, but especially China on that full stroke, where the arm finishes, how long the arm is, where the elbow is in relation to the body, a bit farther out.
7-5.
That was a sneaky little backhand. Not a lot of tuck and rip on this. Fang just sort of a short stroke there, and it stays low and fast. Second towel break of the game, still a 2-point lead for LIN Gaoyuan after Fang recovers 2 points. Now whoever wins this match will be playing a non-Chinese player. And I'm interested to see that no matter what, whether it's Dima or Harimoto, against either of these two. But right now, LIN Gaoyuan seeming to be the favorite. 3 points away from moving on to the semifinals. And I'm thinking back to what this means for LIN Gaoyuan. He's been given a few opportunities this year since the Marvelous 12. Winning this match would be a good sign. He's also suffered a few tough losses, but sometimes coaches recognize a skill in a player. Sometimes just brain power, understanding of the table, how they play the game. We see this with Truls, the young player from Sweden, playing the final at the World Juniors. Maybe it was the junior circuit. Either way, a big junior tournament recently. Oh, a break for LIN Gaoyuan, a tough shot left up near the net. A Hail Mary backhand sort of chop block that comes down right behind the net. We've seen tougher misses yesterday. Wang Chunting dropping his racket and T-Mobile couldn't take the point. 4 match points for LIN Gaoyuan. And there it is, takes it at the first opportunity, 11-6. No comeback against LIN Gaoyuan this time. LIN Gaoyuan fans will be relieved. He closed the door, he sealed the deal, and he won the match. He's moving on to play the winner of Dima and Tomokazu Harimoto. That match will be coming up later today and should be a thriller. We've got one more coming up right now with Ju Yuling and Wang Manyu, the next quarterfinal for the women's singles. Enjoy the highlights. Here's a recap of the score. We'll be back in a bit with that women's singles quarterfinal for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, winner of the men's singles quarterfinal match, LIN Gaoyuan from China. Gaoyuan, congratulations, you are playing very well. We might have expected a closer match. Were you happy with that performance? 4-1 looked quite comfortable.
首先恭喜你赢得这场1/4的比赛。然后的话呢，我们本来以为这个比分会更加接近一点，但其实是4-1这样子去获胜的。你对此表示很高兴吗？或者是说你之前有什么期待？
我觉得这场比赛是自己准备的比较充分嘛，毕竟是对自己队的还是备战的比较足，然后做好非常足的困难准备，而且第一局自己在输的情况下没有去乱，而且是1分打而追上比分，我觉得发挥的还是比较稳定，我觉得。
Actually, I prepared very well for this match, and although I lost the first match, but I did not. I just calmed down and try to win the following matches.
Fantastic, and of course you will play the winner of Dmitry Ovcharov on Tomokazu Harimoto. Will you watch this match to prepare for your semi-final?
接下来这场比赛也是会在那个奥恰洛夫和日本选手之间产生。你会在看这场比赛，然后做相应的准备吗？
这个肯定是要做好充分准备吧，因为这2个选手自己也是一次都没打过吧，所以说我觉得在赛前的准备上，我觉得必须要做出非常充分的准备。
Yes, I will prepare for that because I have never played with them. So before the match, I will watch very closely.
Fantastic, thank you, CHN. LIN Gaoyuan, winner of the quarterfinal, through to the semi-final.
Teamwork, 谢谢。